hard on this. I'm also gonna mess with the light for a second because the lighting is sometimes kind of weird. And see if that helps. Yeah, I think it helps a little. Okay, so at the beginning, we're just going to do a training, but I'm hoping that we can get to the hypnosis part because I wrote it especially for this. And at that point, I may have you guys turn on your cameras because it helps me watch you process to know where we're at in the hypnosis. So just FYI there, if you're doing something and you can, it's fine. It just helps me facilitate. So anyways, the first thing that I want to bring up today is this concept of getting what you want. And this is one of my favorite topics because it's probably the one thing that helped me really understand that there was a part of me that didn't want what I thought I wanted or was afraid of it. Because it's really easy to be like, well, yeah, of course I want consistent 10K months, or I want X, or I want Y, or I want Z, or whatever. But the truth is that if you really wanted it, all parts of you really wanted it, you would have it. Okay. And I say that with caution because I never want people to think, well, Farron's telling me I don't know what I want. That is not the intention. The intention is just for you to see how sneaky your cute little brains are. And I'm going to show you today what I mean. So I want you to think of a time where you really wanted something and you made it happen. Okay. And you were like, there is no way around this. And this could be anytime. This could be when you were a kid. Kids do really funny things when they want stuff. I mean, sometimes they would like, take it from their sibling or like, create some drama or whatever to get what they wanted. Okay. And because they're kids, we kind of like let it go. But we do this as adults. And I can think myself of times where I was like, because for me specifically, I love to get what I want. That's a big thing for me. But also I am all about this concept of the way it should be. And that's a slippery slope. I'm not going to get into that conversation today because people can get caught up in that. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But for me, like I will fight for something because it's what I want, but also like the principle of it. Of like, for example, I just had this weird thing with Airbnb and it was like not even about like after it was all said and done, it wasn't even worth my money or my time, but it was like the point. And I was like, no, this is going to happen because it's the point. Has anyone ever experienced this? And I do need you to drop this in the chat because I need you to have a point of reference for you to understand what I'm talking about. So think to a time when you were like, I want this and it's going to happen and I'm going to make it happen. And I know that we all, okay, amazing. And I know that, okay, amazing. Just so we have a point of reference, right? Okay. And I want you to really think about what the difference was with that versus what you want now. We all are here because we want more money. We want more abundance. We just want more. We want to be in control of our money and our finances and our businesses, right? But there's a story going around that like, well, we can't just have it. It can't be that easy. And I don't know what your all story is, but I want you to really question, well, what was the difference between that? If I could make that happen, why am I not making this happen? Okay. And I have some questions for you to kind of like think about, but I want you to start seeing that this is true, that if all parts of you really wanted what you wanted, you would have it. That's my intention for this call. So go back to the time that you could think of that was probably the most significant time where it really just like stands out that, oh, this time I really made things happen because I wanted it. Okay. And I want you to just notice what's going on. How are you feeling? How are you feeling in your body? Are you proud of yourself? Is there any shame? Just noticing what is happening. I wanted it and I made it happen. What's happening? Walk me through it. Strong, determined, knowing, confident. Okay. So then the question becomes, why is what you want in your business any different? Why is wanting the money that you want in your business any different? And how are you showing up for that? Where's the disconnect? Are you showing up determined, knowing, strong, confident, or not? And if not, why? All of my actions were directed towards my goal. Yeah, you're very goal oriented, which is amazing. But I want you to start seeing how, like, we can look at the ways that we're showing up in different areas of our life to see what's out of alignment. If there's a fear, or we don't actually want what we want, or there's a competing desire, meaning that, okay, well, I want more money, but I also want more time, and I can't have both. And that's just a misunderstanding, right? It's a competing desire, and so they will fight, right? So I just want you to start seeing what the difference is, where you're showing up differently in your business and with money. And just notice if anything comes up, and I'm just going to ask some questions. If I got the money, and also let's do it, let's get very clear on the thing that we're talking about today. It can be a lot of different things, but I think because we're going to do some hypnosis, that it's better for us to get really clear on like the one thing. So I'm just going to read the chat really quick. I've been very determined. I think I lack insight in marketing. That's how I feel. Good. Okay. So it sounds like it's two things, and that can be true. It can be that I need help with marketing and there's a fear here, right? It can be both. But I love this awareness around marketing. So what I want to find out for you, so you have two options. And I'm going to blow your mind a little bit, and I hope it doesn't overwhelm you, but you have two options. You can actually get support for marketing, or you can tap on the idea that you are good at marketing. So you can decide which one you want. So for me, I recently hired a new coach to help me with my content because I have a story that I'm not good at content. And I could have chosen to tap on that, right? I could have chosen to say, I'm good at content. And I've actually played around with this, and I've created content from that and got quite a bit of like engagement. So I know this works, but sometimes our need for support goes deeper than that. Right? And a really good question to ask yourself, because there's nothing wrong with support. I'm a coach, like I have a coach, right? But to ask yourself, if you are in containers that are teaching you marketing, or you've had one-on-one coaching where it was teaching you marketing, what was the difference between then and now? Is it is the story that, well, then when I was learning, whether it's in Bridget's membership or someone else's membership or Allison's or whatever, so the question then becomes, was there a fear there so big that kept me from getting all the knowledge I needed from those containers? Okay. And I'll give you an example. Recently with my coach, I actually went through one of her trainings again. Yeah. And this part will blow your mind because our brains are so cute and sneaky. Oh my gosh. So she told me, hey, go back through this training. And in my head, I thought, oh, I've already been through that training. And I rewatched it, and I got so much value out of it. I actually sold something from implementing it, even though I'd already watched it, because there was no longer that block there keeping me from absorbing all the knowledge from it. So this is what I'm talking about. If you've ever been in a training and you kind of get it, but it's not clicking, or you don't know how to implement it. Does anybody know? Yes. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. So this is why I'm always telling you guys that I think having strategic support is important with marketing and messaging specifically. But if you're not doing this work first or alongside with it, it won't click in. Right. And that's why I'm always like trying to tell you guys this. And I always have a low ticket offer at this price. I mean, I think I'll probably always have something at $50 a month. I feel like this container will evolve to a more expensive container, but you guys will be grandfathered in, so no problem. But I always want to have a low ticket offer to help people with this because I think it's that important. If you have a blog, I don't care if you hire the best marketer in the world to come and teach you marketing, you will not get it. Because your brain perceives that as, well, if I become good at marketing, I'm going to get what I want. And that is going to cause problems. So I'm just not going to even allow myself to absorb that information and implement it. So if that's happening to you, you can just let go of any shame or any like should'ves with that, because it's not you, it's your brain, right? So again, it's not you, it's your cute little brain just trying to keep you safe, right? So I just want you guys to be clear. This is what I see happen is people go and they don't do this work and they invest a lot of money in somebody to help them with business and marketing, and it doesn't work because they can't absorb and implement the information. Is all this making sense? Okay, amazing. All right, yes, okay. So that's why it's so important to have this container, even if you're in, just a $50 a month container. To do this work once a week is enough. You can do it more, but I'm really lovingly challenging you to get curious about these things and do this work weekly or more if you want to, and then start implementing those trainings. Because I know at least one of you are in one, maybe more memberships that teach you about marketing. And I know they're really good, but sometimes we don't implement them because we're like, there's a block here, right? Okay, so now I want you to think back to this time when you were like, I got what I want. And then it's like, okay, well, why am I not showing up this way now? With all of that information, is there any, before I start asking you guys questions, is there anything coming up around why you're showing up differently with your income goal? So I want it to be, I decided, a financial goal, right? So because we're doing hypnosis, so I want X amount of money. Okay, and let's just say in the next month, I want X amount of money in the next month. Why are you not showing up with that same confidence, determination, and fight for that? What comes up when I say that? Because I'm going to ask you some questions to get clear on it, but I want to see what your wisdom is. Why are you showing up differently? Especially now that you know it might not be the marketing. Overwhelmed with options for actions to take. I'm not sure which ones to do first. Yeah, that feeling of overwhelm is legit, especially as an entrepreneur, and especially when you're starting a new business. Like, it's such a thing. And yeah, okay. So I'm understanding this, both of you are saying that there's like a sense of overwhelm and you don't know where to start. Like, you need like kind of a better like foundation of like, do this first and then do this. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Okay, cool. All right. So overwhelm is one of the top things that I see our brains protecting us from getting what we want, because it's a way, like I had a client call yesterday, and I asked the client something and I immediately saw the shift in his body language, the shift in his eyes, like whatever I said triggered something in him for his brain to just shut off. And he like couldn't even absorb the information I was giving him. So I knew we were close to something very deep that was keeping him from moving forward. So this is not about overwhelm. It's about figuring out what the overwhelm is protecting you from. Because if you're overwhelmed and you don't know what action to take, you just don't take action. And then you stay frustrated or whatever, frustrated or let down or angry, whatever, right? So now we want to understand what the frustration is trying to tell us, okay? So I want you to think, if I got what I want, what am I afraid would happen? Or another question is, what is this frustration trying to tell me? Or what is this overwhelm trying to tell me? Sorry, I'm just updating my notes here. So if I had X amount of money by next month, what do I fear would happen? So for me, like, let's say it's like 10K. If I had 10K recurring revenue, like starting this month and every month, what do I fear would happen? Because if you've made other things happen, which you both have, and you have a feeling of overwhelm with the thing that you want, I don't feel fear of money. So what do you fear though? Because there is something keeping you from properly going after what you want. And that's what we're trying to figure out. And what could be helpful, if nothing is coming up for you guys, feeling into your body, right? So it would be the fact that you want X amount of money and you feel so overwhelmed that you don't know how to get it. Where does that, like, what does that feel like in your body, and where is it? See if you can locate that. And if you're having trouble, vulnerability. Okay, good. Chaos in the brain, like too much going on. Okay, perfect. So now keep in this, and I'm going to ask you some more questions, and then we're going to go into hypnosis. Okay. So now I want you to just notice the difference. So lately I've been having you guys do this a lot, like moving into different feelings so you understand the difference of the feeling in your body. So notice what that feels. A sense of vulnerability, a sense of chaos in the brain. How does that feel in your body? Where is it? What color is it? Get really clear what that feels like, because we're going to get rid of it in hypnosis. So I want you guys to get very clear on where it is and what it is and what is it protecting you from. So if I was vulnerable, I would, or people would. Fill in the blank. We're trying to get very clear on what we're protecting ourselves from. If I am chaotic in the brain, I'm not going to be able to keep doing business and I'm going to burn out. Like, what is the fear? And then the question then is, well, if I burn out, what does that mean about me? Because burnout is a very real fear, but oftentimes the resistance to something like burnout is more about, well, if I'm burned out and I can't do anything, then I'm going to be lazy and people will judge me, or I'll judge myself. We want to bring it back to our judgments of ourselves. It's always about what we're making it mean about us. Too much responsibility. So if you have too much responsibility and you don't see it through, what does that mean about you? Are you a bad person? Are you lazy? Like, what are you making it mean about you? We want to get very clear on this because we're going to let it go in hypnosis. If people see me or if I'm vulnerable. Yeah, okay. And good. If your highest value is freedom, this is a competing desire. If your highest value is freedom and you think that more money is going to take away your freedom, you will not allow yourself to have it. Okay, so that's a good one for you. Fear of failure, not sure exactly that, or fear of failure, not sure what, but that's what I'm feeling. Okay, go with the feeling. We don't have to know. As long as you can feel it in your body, that's all that matters, right? So I am going to push you guys just a little bit further to see if we can get some information, but see if anything comes up when I ask this question. Sorry, guys. Okay, so sorry, I'm thinking about how I want to articulate this. Actually, no. I'm going to ask some more questions and see what else comes up for you guys, and we'll circle back around to this. So I want you to just let that sensation go, but mark it, like keep it, like be like, okay, I know the color. So make sure you know like what color it is, if it's dark, if it's heavy, if it's sludgy, if it's black, if it's in your body, outside of your body, just notice what that feels like, because we're going to come back to it. Okay. And then I want you to just let it go. And I want you to ask yourself, drop these in the chat. If I'm successful, I fear. And just see what happens. Don't think about it too much. Just see what flows out, because there is a fear here. Otherwise, you guys would be making it happen. Fear that they will judge. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Especially if you have stuff from your childhood where people told you weren't smart. I have this. I have a learning disability. And so that was a big one for me, of like people think that I don't know what I'm talking about. Losing time freedom. Okay, amazing. If I have a lot of money, I fear that. See if it's the same, see if it's different. Could be the same, could be different. We're just poking around and seeing what our cute little brain is telling us. Okay. If I have more money, I fear that. So the last one was just money, a lot of money. Notice the difference. Sometimes the word more will change it, because sometimes there's a story around, well, do I need more? So just noticing if that's different. If I have more money, I fear that. I feel like the more money comes with more judgment. Like people have a fear of judgment when we throw in the word more. Okay, good. And that's okay. Good to notice. Because I desire more money, I am. Try to see if you can come up with something like negative, like I'm greedy, or, whatever. But if it's only positive, that's fine. But we're just seeing what the stories are here. Because I desire more money, I am. Okay. Sorry, I'm going a little fast because I want to make sure we get to the hypnosis. Being successful means that I am blank. And just notice if anything changes. If it doesn't, that's fine. These were intended to be a little bit similar. So just see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's very clear what yours is. Like you're for sure. I value my freedom and time freedom. And if I have more money and I'm successful, I'll work less. So not on this call. And I would be surprised if it's still as big after this call, because we're going to do hypnosis, but for what you need to do is like find evidence that that's not true, right? Of like, okay, having more money means I can hire support. Having more money means that I get to pick and choose the people I work with. Like finding the support or finding the evidence that that's not true, right? Or you can tap it out if that's easier. Hiring support. Okay, so that feels good. Okay, all right. So now means I am one of the rich people. Yeah. Yeah, this is such a big one, especially if we grew up in households like, my mom was a single parent, so we didn't have a lot of money. And my mom's side of the family didn't come from a lot of money. And so there was a lot of judgment there around rich people are this and rich people are that. And they're boring or they're rude or they're mean or they're greedy. And, our brains are so malleable at that age that we absorb that stuff without even realizing what's happening. And so what's really important here, and again, by the end of this session, that'll probably be gone. But if not, think about the idea of like understanding why it's there and just saying, that's not mine anymore. That's actually my parents' story or somebody else's story. And I let that go, right? Like that is not mine. That was absorbed and I am no longer allowing it to be here. Because, and I want you guys to go back to the truth is that if all parts of you wanted what you wanted, you would have it. Okay. I'm just bringing it back to that. I want you guys to understand your power. Okay. If you really wanted it, you would have it. So there's a part of you that doesn't actually want it because it's scared or doesn't feel safe to have it. Okay. All right. So now on a scale from 1 to 10, from your body, feeling to your body, how much do you believe that if all parts of you wanted it, you would have it? 10 being like, yes, 0 being like, no. Okay, good. Just making sure, want to make sure we're on the same page when we go into hypnosis. Amazing. I love you guys. Okay, so let's dive in. So I wrote this especially for you guys today. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm really excited about it. So now all I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to see if you can tap into that color again of that feeling of like the bad thing, right? Like either the wisdom of like, hey, I'm keeping you safe because you're going to have to give up your freedom, or people are going to judge you, or you're going to be bad, or whatever the story is. But remember, I asked you to locate the feeling and the color. So I want you to just see if you can tap back into it, because we're going to tap into it a few times, because I want you to see that you can tap in, like, okay, I'm not going to even say that. So just see if you can feel it. What color is it? Notice how big it is. So this would be like the fear of being vulnerable. This would be the fear of like, I'm going to lose my time, my freedom. Okay. Feel into that. And all I want you to notice is that it's there and all uncomfortable sensations are there because it's just has wisdom for you. It's just like a bell being like, hey, are you hearing me? I'm trying to communicate this information to you. Are you hearing me? And the sensation gets more intense when we don't listen. That's why anxiety will turn into like a panic attack if we're not, because a lot of times anxiety is just our body really trying to show us that like, hey, something's not right. Okay. So just ask it, just play with it, notice it, start to like befriend it. A lot of times we'll be like, oh, that's really bad. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to befriend it. I don't want to talk to it. But it's actually there as a friend to give you some advice. So just notice where it is, the color, what is the learning? What is it trying to teach you? Just by you listening to the wisdom it has for you will allow it to release. And then we're going to do the hypnosis to make sure it's really gone. Okay. So just noticing, like you don't have to write anything down or type it in the chat, but just notice, what is it trying to tell me? Okay, what is it keeping me safe from? How is it protecting me? And when you're ready, all I want you to do is just set the intention to let it go fully and completely, right? It's like, okay, I hear you. You were once protecting me, but it's no longer helping. It's actually causing problems and I'm ready to let it go. And you can say that in whatever way feels good for you, but it's just setting the intention that it's time to let it go and that you are ready to let it go. You telling your brain and body what you want is really powerful. Our brain and body is not in control of us. We get to take the control and the will and be in control over them, right? A lot of times I feel like we've taken a back seat to them and our brain and body just kind of wiles out without us like us doing anything. So we just get to say, hey, we're in control. And all I'm going to ask is that if you guys can all put on your camera, that would be great, or at least one of you, so I can watch you process, because it helps me know the timing of how to navigate the hypnosis. So if somebody can put on their camera, that would be amazing. Awesome. Thank you. I so appreciate you guys, because it just helps me with the hypnosis. And if not, that's okay too. Okay. So are you guys ready? I'm so excited. Okay. So I just want you to let go of any thoughts, feeling, emotion, sensation. So good, bad, whatever. Just let it all go. And all I want you to do is I want you to feel the feeling of abundance in your body. What does abundance mean to you from a sensation and an emotional standpoint? It could feel like, for me, it feels very open and wide and like anything's possible. And when I check in with money, that's the same. I want to feel the same. So abundance is like the feeling and the emotions of money, what you would want. So freedom, I know, is a big one for you guys. Safety is probably something in there, feeling very open and wide and like anything's possible. And I want you to feel that in your body and just noticing the difference, right? Like we're not doing anything with it. We're just noticing how it feels. And I want you to notice the emotions and sensations that come along with abundance. And what color is abundance and where does it reside in your body? And just pretending like we don't have to force anything. It's just, you know, getting curious. What does it feel like? Does it feel good? Where is it? What color is it? And now just let it go. We're going to come back to all of this, but I'm doing this strategically to bring you in and out. So now we're going to do an induction. So basically I'm going to count you guys into like a relaxed state. So you guys get comfortable. You can do it sitting up or laying down or whatever. But so all I want you to do is I want you to pick an object in front of you. It could be on the wall or it can be something, but like it needs to be like where your eyes are this way. If you're staring at like the wall, it's probably the best to do like a wall or window or something. And then just choose a spot. And I just want you to focus on that spot intently and intensely. Okay. And as you focus on this spot, your gaze will start to soften. You'll notice everything around you, your peripherals will start to soften. And you'll kind of start to breathe a little deeper. And you'll kind of be in this like zoned out, relaxed state, almost like your eyes could just see right through it. And just keep doing that. Your eyes might start fluttering, they might start feeling heavy. And just keep staring, fixed on that spot, allowing yourself to become aware of the space around the spot, the space around your body, and the space between you and the wall. The space outside of the room. And all I want you to do is bring a gentle curiosity and awareness to the sounds that are circulating in your space. Sounds coming from inside the space, sounds entering the space outside of this room, perhaps even becoming aware of the sound of your own breathing. And as you notice all the sounds, it allows you to relax deeply. As those sounds are woven into a tapestry of comfort. And at this time, you need to pay attention to the sounds or the things happening in your environment. You can do so easily. Otherwise, you can let all sounds which don't require any action to just wash over you and flow through this experience in the most peaceful and relaxing way. And now you'll notice your eyelids just want to close down. Just close down gently. And they might even feel a little heavy or kind of like locked in place. Peacefully creating a sense of serenity and calm as you become aware of the sensations of being supported by the surface beneath you. Notice the way the air feels on your skin. the sensations of the tongue inside your mouth, and that gentle noticing allows you to relax and soften the jaw even more, allowing the teeth to separate and your tongue to rest on the floor of your mouth as you simply notice and think to yourself, I am here and it is good. Yeah, that's right. And life isn't it so good? And I'd like you now to imagine that you are on a beautiful, cozy, safe passenger train. You are nestled into the most comfortable seat, and you have a deep sense of serenity, peace, safety, and calm. Maybe you even have a blanket that you're snuggled up with. You're just so comfortable, relaxed, and safe. And just notice the time of day that it might be. Notice the quality of the light in this passenger car. Any aromas. Notice the rhythmic sound of the tracks below you, and the peaceful hum, and the quiet knowing. The knowing that there's something magical about this experience. Something amazing is about to happen. And that knowledge that you can trust this experience, and that feeling of trust allows you to settle in to the most comfortable seat as you drift off to sleep. And you find yourself in the most luminous, nourishing, healing light of abundance. Bathed in this light, this abundant light. Noticing what color that is, noticing where it is in your body, noticing if it's coming from outside, enveloped in this peaceful glow that infuses your body with comfort, ease, and calm. You sense that there is healing in this space, and you choose to simply just bask in the light of abundance. That's all you have to do. Just allow it in and absorb it, allowing it to nourish you inside and out. And now breathe in the light as you become aware of the sensations happening in your body that indicate that there is some type of healing taking place. A healing of the body, but also of the mind and the spirit and the emotions. Staying with your breath, begin to notice a sense of deep gratitude welling up inside of you. Gratitude for the space, gratitude for the work, gratitude for everything that you have gratitude for. And in a moment, I will name parts of your body, and I will invite you to simply notice each part as this light of abundance is directed there and envelops the body in this healing, nourishing, abundant light. And just know that you cannot do this wrong. There's absolutely no way you can do it wrong. The whole intention is just to feel good and relax. And because one of the best things about paying attention to your body is the way it allows you to just let go now of anything that's not serving you, anything that you no longer need. And you suddenly realize with your whole being that it's safe to just let it go. Whatever's not serving you, just let it go now. That's right, let it go. So now just notice the things I name as this light of abundance infuses the body, mind, spirit, and emotions. Notice the thumb on your right hand. Now notice your first finger. Noticing your middle finger. Noticing your ring finger and your little finger. Noticing the palm of your hand. Noticing the back of your hand. Noticing your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder.
And now the whole right side of your body, your waist, your hip, your upper leg, your kneecap, and your lower leg, your ankle, your heel, the sole of your foot, and the top of your foot, your right big toe, your second toe, your third toe, and this abundant light being in your fourth toe, and your fifth toe. And now notice the whole right side of your body. Become aware of the abundant light infusing the right side of your body as it relaxes the whole right side of your body. And now the left side. Your left hand, thumb, your first finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your little finger, the palm of your hand, the back of your hand, your wrist, and your elbow, and your shoulder, left side of your body, your waist, and your hip, and your upper leg, your kneecap, your lower leg, your ankle, and your heel, the sole of your foot, the top of your foot, your left big toe, your second toe, your third toe, your fourth toe, and your fifth toe. Now notice the whole left side of your body. Become aware of the abundance of light infusing the left side of your body. And as you breathe, it relaxes the whole left side of your body. Now notice the back of your body, your lower back, your upper back, the back of your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, all the way to the forehead, the right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, in the center of your eyebrows, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, left cheek, right cheek, right nostril, left nostril, tip of your nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin and throat, your left chest and your right chest, the center of your chest, your abdomen and your navel. Now notice this light of abundance in your pelvic region, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm. Now notice it's in the abdomen and the chest and the back all together. Head and neck together and the whole body. This light is in your whole body, your whole body. And become aware of that light infusing your whole body with abundance now. That feeling of abundance, the sensation of abundance, the color of abundance. And again, you can't do this wrong. It's your coloring book. You get to color it however you want. You get to see it however you want. You get to make it whatever you want. As long as that you feel good. Basking in this healing, abundant light of love. As this abundant light circulates and swirls, and it swirls inside the body and permeates every cell, atom, and neuron. This light of abundance here now, bathing the brain, the nerves, the arteries, this abundant light in your throat, in your esophagus, your trachea, and this light fusing your heart, your lungs, your stomach, your liver. Notice that you may not know where your liver is, but you just pretend. And this light of abundance is there in your liver. And it almost smiles. And this light of abundance in your kidney, in your bladder, in your intestines, in your sexual organs, your entire respiratory system, your entire circulatory system, your entire nervous system, and your entire digestive system, the entire reproductive system, your endocrine system, and your skeleton system, even all the way through your muscular system, knowing or all known and unknown systems to the body being infused with this healing light of abundance now. Regulating the entire system and the body as a whole, bringing it into calibration, bringing it into balance, all the systems of your body working together as a symphony according to your specific blueprint for perfect abundance, perfect confidence, perfect health, perfect freedom, whatever it is that you desire. Your whole body being engulfed with this light, your whole body. And as you become aware of your body is whole, wholly light, your light and abundant body, now take the awareness to the breath, the natural breath, moving in and out. Good. Now your entire body is illuminated with abundance and love. You're positively radiating. And that love is being absorbed into every cell, every organ, every nerve, and every fiber of your being, absorbing and relaxing into the healing, restorative light of this love as you now realize, I am abundance. I am abundance. Good. I am abundance. Good. I am love. I am love. I am love. Now notice the sensations of being supported. I mean, truly supported, lovingly supported by the surface beneath you and this sacred space that you are so supported and so loved. And now noticing the surface beneath you. And that each time you become aware of the surface beneath you, you consciously or unconsciously remember the support of this moment. You are fully supported and you are safe and you are loved. The support of this community, the support of this abundant light, and the light of this love and abundance, which is always here, always nourishing you. Now notice the sensations of the air on your skin, the temperature of the air on your face, the healing light of love and the healing light of abundance in and around your body now. As you realize you are safe, it's safe to rest deeply because you can trust your unconscious and the infinite intelligence to take care of all these things as you rest peacefully now. That's right. Now I want you to go back to that old color, the one that represents why you're not going for what you want, why you're not fighting to make it a reality. Is the color, the sensation, or even the feelings even still there? There's a good chance it might not be there anymore. But if it is, all I want you to do is I want you to bring that light of abundance now. And I want you to concentrate it on that area of your body where you notice that old color and those old feelings and sensations are. And you'll notice that this light of abundance comes in and it starts to break down any little piece that's left. And as you watch it shatter, all the pieces fall and you kind of see them like falling onto the ground, maybe even bouncing off of you. And you feel a sense of weight lifted off of you as the pieces hit the floor and you watch them being absorbed by the earth. Whatever that fear was, whatever that wisdom that it was trying to communicate with you, you got the learning. You understand what it was trying to communicate, but it is no longer needed. And there's now nothing left of this old story, this old belief, this old sense of protection. It's all gone because you are truly protected by this light, by abundance, and by love. And now there's only the light of abundance. And now that light spreads throughout your entire body. Every cell, every fiber, every part of your being. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Okay. So I'm not sure where we got left off, but you can go back into your relaxed state and just find that it's easy to go back there. And this light of abundance is now moving through your whole body, every cell, every fiber, every part of your being. And you'll notice that it feels like home. And now it moves past you to your house. This feeling of abundance and love goes past you to your neighbors, to your street, to your city, to your state or province, to the whole country, and then to the world. The source of abundance and love that comes from you is now shining so bright in the whole world. And notice how that feels to have something so beautiful a part of you that's also connected to the rest of the world. And now all I want you to do is this light of abundance is here. And I know that we've already sprinkled it with love, but I'm going to ask you to do it again. Sprinkle it with love, this feeling of love, the sensations and the feelings of love, and watch and see if that color changes. And it may not, but it may. Abundance and love are a powerful love match. Or maybe you see them swirling together. And now all of those thoughts, all of those feelings, and all of those sensations that accompany with you from this light of abundance are now a part of you. And they're going to go with you wherever you go. They are a part of you and you can tap into them anytime because you are love and you are abundance. This is now a part of your being and a part of your everyday experience. And as you just sit here and rest, as you're taking in all this feeling of love and abundance, your body memorizes this level of peace, this level of health, this level of light, the level of love, and the level of abundance now. This is who you are. And it becomes even more radiant and apparent day after day. As you rest peacefully, you become aware that this transformation has taken place while on this magical healing train ride. You become aware of the rhythmic sounds of the train moving down the tracks, the seat beneath you, the quality of the light. And I mean, you really know that something has shifted. Something just seems a little bit different in the most powerfully positive way that you can imagine. And just notice that there's this feeling of, yeah, noticing something has shifted, something has changed. And so now just become aware that you are actually in this abundance healing hypnotic trance here in this room. That abundance is now part of your being, listening to the sound of my voice and noticing the sensations of this healing taking place. And it lets you become aware of your position of your hands and your feet. And you start to maybe even notice that you want to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you can start to wiggle them now as I count from 1 to 5. And with each number, you will become more alert, more focused, and aware that something magical has happened. Something has changed. And when I say the number 5, you can open your eyes and fully become awake and alert and revitalized, feeling so good and so abundant and so loved. 1, 2, you may notice your body wants to move, and that's cool. 3, you might want to stretch. 4, and 5, eyes open. Yeah, big yawns. I love that. Okay. I am so curious. If I go back and I ask you, why are you not going after the thing that you want and making it happen? What comes up from this place? Is there something that shifted? Do you feel differently about what you want and what you can do about it? And if nothing comes up, that's fine. Sometimes when you go into these relaxed states, your brain can be a little bit like, but I want you to notice that whatever was holding you back has been transformed in hypnosis, but also from a very neurological standpoint, right? So we took an old loop that created a feeling and sensation related to why you weren't going after what you wanted. And we created a new loop with a new feeling. So now when you go after what you want, can you make it happen? Can you show up confident? Like, what were the things that you guys said earlier? When I got what I wanted, when I made it happen, I showed up confident. What were some of the other things? Drop them in the chat. Clear action. Okay, good to notice. So now, do you have clear action? Determined, confident, knowing, empowered. Try to think about what you want to do next. Do you still feel overwhelmed? And if you do, that's fine. Let me know. But I'm curious what has shifted. No. Okay. Wait, no. Wait. Okay. So no, you don't feel overwhelmed. Sorry. Okay. So neither one of you feel overwhelmed because I know that was the story for both of you. Okay. So in the absence of overwhelm, what's the next step? I want you to clearly see first that if every part of you truly wanted it and wasn't afraid of it, that you would know the next step. That the story that I'm overwhelmed and I don't know the next step is just your cute little brain keeping you safe and indexing certain information and not allowing you to tap into the information that's going to actually move you forward. Do you guys clearly see that now? Do you see what's happening and why it's so important when people come to me and say, I need the foundation, I need the structure, I need the marketing, I need the messaging. Yes, we cannot have businesses without these things. But if you've already gotten that support and it didn't work, this is why. Because your brain didn't allow you to actually like follow it, to learn from it because it was too afraid of what was on the other side. So now with this knowing of like, wait a minute, I can make what I want happen. What happens now? Give me some grounded action. What happens now? And maybe it's I take a nap and I process, and that's okay too. But I want you to just clearly see that you are in control, or you can be, right? That when we say we don't know or we're confused or overwhelmed, it's just our brain, cute little adorable brain. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. I love that. Yeah. And I just saw your message too about last week's training. And I love that. Because you're like, I've never done that before. And I was like, okay, go do it. And then look at all the amazingness that came from it. So that's amazing that you emailed your list. I just got so much like amazing feedback. I want to put pen to paper, journal, sketch, maybe. a mess, not care. Yeah. And that is you just wanting to get out old stuff so you can see the clarity of the stuff that you do need. When we feel like we need to do something, whether it's writing or making art or working out or taking a walk, that is our body communicating to us that we need to move energy, that there's something going on there. So that's why it's super important when you get those hits to do stuff like that. It's trying to explain to you that, hey, there's something here that needs out. We need to get it out. And that makes space for you to actually clearly see what's going on and see the next step. And guys, like, I know we talk about this all the time, but the next step to get you to where you want is the most simple thing. People always think they're going to come into my world and I'm going to give them this crazy magic bean or something. And I'm like, no, it's already there. We just have to get you to see that it's there and that it gets to be simple and easy, right? Okay, I want to put pen and paper. I feel super confident that it's going to happen. Yeah. Okay. So what are we making happen? Declare it. You can drop it in the chat or you can just say it, you know, out loud muted, but like declare it. Like, from this place, I do know that I can get what I want. And I find evidence in, well, I made that happen. Why can I make this happen? Oh, it's because I had a fear. Or, oh, I thought it was going to take something away from me. But now that I see that that's not true, now that I see that it was protection, can I move forward in getting what I want? Can I make it happen? You guys have all made things happen. So if you're not showing up in that way for what you want financially, there's a reason why. And we, luckily in this container, can deal with that, right? So is this all making sense? Does anyone have any questions? Or are you kind of just like, I don't know? Yeah, my intention was just for you guys to really know that you are in control. You are powerful and you can create anything you want. We just have to remember it sometimes. And sometimes we need a loving push to remember, oh yeah, I am powerful. I make what I want happen. Like, I do this. I can like look around my life and say, wow, I wanted X, Y, Z, and I've created all of it. So why am I not creating this one thing that I say I really want? And then I know that if I'm not showing up in that way, I have a fear. And that's okay too. We get to be human. We get to take time off. We get to have bad days. Yeah. Okay. Anyone have any questions before I hop off? Okay, if you haven't, I think some of you, I have made so much happen with my, right? I know, like, it's insane. I know all of you. And I know that you guys have made things happen. Like, no, I want this and it's gonna freaking happen. Or especially for our children, I want this for my child. I want this for my partner. I want this. It's gonna happen. And you make it happen. But then when it comes to your stuff, you're like, it's like, well, why? And then once we start to truly understand why, then we can let go of all, because what happens is when we don't let go of the why, there's usually a lot of shame around it. And we just get to let that go and be like, that was my cute little brain and body. That's not even me. I don't have to have shame, but now I know what was holding me back and how to show up and get what I want. And like, rock your power. Like, you are powerful. I am powerful. We can create what we want. You get to just go out and do it, and know that if it's a little wobbly or it doesn't work out, that you have the support of this container to help you through that. Because I think a lot of us get a little bit like worried about like being let down, or what if it doesn't happen? And it's like, well, that's life, but then do you have the support and do you trust yourself to navigate through it? To just tell yourself that you've got you. That is powerful. Like you would do with your kids or your partner, like, I've got you, but to you, right? All right. I think, I think most of you have seen this, I think, but guys, there's a few of you, well, not a few, like more than a few, that have messaged me about not being able to come on Tuesdays. So I put a poll in the group. Please vote for your day. Disregard the time. I started to put the time and then I published it, and I can't edit it now that it's published. So it would be Tuesdays at 10. So I just want to know the day. It's probably going to stay at 10, but I am going to be in Bali for a wedding. So it's going to have to move probably like an hour for the few weeks that I'm in Bali, just FYI. But just vote the day, because I know a few of you can't make Tuesday. So if Wednesday or Thursday is better for you, let me know. And if you want me to know that there's a certain time that works better, just drop it in the comments. Hey, Thursdays after, 9 o'clock or at 9 or Central Time. Make sure you give me your time zone. But because I am about to start promoting the group again, I want to make sure that you guys are all sorted to the best of my ability before I do that as like a thank you of being a founding member, right? So just make sure you vote on the day, if that's better. If you have any questions, let me know. And then I believe next week, bear with me. I've been was sick for a few weeks and just had a lot of crazy stuff going on. But I think I'm going to start doing the live trainings I was telling you about next week in the Facebook group. So they will be in the Facebook group via Facebook Live. And I haven't decided the day that I'm going to do those yet. I want to do them weekly on the same day each week. So make sure that you are in the Facebook group and dropping like, hey, I'm stuck with this, or hey, I have a question about this, because it helps me figure out what trainings I'm going to do. And it'll be a little bit different. This is going to be mostly just a training, no change work. That's reserved for you guys only, but it is going to be a training. So if you have specific questions or things you get stuck with, like make sure you're letting me know in the group. So I'm like, oh, that's a good topic to do a training over. So just be mindful of that. I will add everybody and say, hey, and I'll see if I can get it to where I can add it to the calendar. Like, hey, click here to add your calendar. That way you guys have a way to add it to your calendar. But I think I'm just working out some, what am I trying to say? Logistics. And so I haven't set that up yet because I've been moving apartments. So anyways, just working all that out. But if you guys need anything, let me know. And I hope this was really helpful. And I'm so excited to see what you guys create this week. Bye, everybody.